Well, we shall meet again. We shall meet again. Y'all might want to let me drop a few balls on y'all tracks.
All right, good meeting y'all. And it was a good job.
Yeah, great job.
I'm coming, y'all. I'm coming right now.
I'm like, I can't get the bill. I forgot it's
I come here. I'm like,
Babe, come put this on here.
yeah.
I want to make sure I got this turned on.
Yeah, I'll put a song on. Y'all want me to put a song on first and then y'all drop?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might put the song up there.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna put another song while y'all set up.
That don't matter.
So let that song play out, and then
This is all you got to face the wrong way first of all.
I'm gonna wait till y'all get set up and then I'm gonna go here. Y'all tell me when y'all ready.
You got to.
Yeah, y'all good. Okay. Did y'all take? You started?
No, we didn't start it.
Yes, you did.
Yeah,
You're live.
here.
Okay. You can just, but you can invite people if you didn't tag, sis, through right there. Hey, everybody. I'm gonna fade this song and go into y'all.
We got to turn the camera.
Where's y'all?
Attraction.
Yeah, where'd it go? Where is it?
It's on there.
It was
Go
on
down.
there.
It was always. I added it.
No, I saw you add it.
It's all that egg.
I'm gonna just do it. Here we go.
Oh, no, fine.
Oh, it's not in there.
Okay, that's
so
okay.
maybe that's why.
Okay, it don't work.
Let's get it popping.
All right, before we leave, we're gonna save that, Devon.
Okay.
And all the mics is up.
Okay.
So y'all tell me when I'm gonna fade y'all, and y'all gonna come in. Here, not there. Y'all get there.
All right.
Early.
All right.
You got you.
Can
Y'all
y'all
tell me
hear
when you're
me?
ready.
A little bit more, like so.
Coming, y'all.
Hey. Gonna get started here in a minute, y'all.
Fade it.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Come on,
How y'all doing this evening? Hey, Tiara. Hey, Azia. Hey, Melissa. How y'all doing this late evening? We're getting ready to get started with the show. In case you didn't know, my name is Ira Warren, and this is my husband.
Divine Warren.
Hold on, y'all. Gotta get hubby on the camera.
We gotta do it one more time. We gotta do it one more time.
He's like, I gotta do it one more
My
time.
name is Divine Warren.
And my name is Ira
And
Warren.
together we are.
As one.
Oh, yes. How's everybody doing tonight?
I hope y'all are doing great, because I am doing fantastic.
Hopefully everybody's doing well on this gloomy day.
I know, it is
Yeah,
gloomy.
like-
It's all wet outside, but hey, we
But
get ready to have a good time.
And it's a beautiful day regardless if you're still here.
That's right, that's right. All righty, so babe, why don't you go ahead and just share our topic tonight?
Okay, tonight's topic is build and not destroy
Ooh.
your relationship.
Ooh.
Let me say it one more time. Build and not destroy your relationship. And you know what's funny? We actually put 3 topics on Facebook, and other places. I put one on Instagram as well. And this was a topic that was picked by the people.
Right.
We want to do topics that people can relate to, something that they want to hear. We don't just want to get up here and talk. We actually want to touch people with our stories or whatever we're talking about, and we want them to have some idea of where we're going to go, because they were the one who actually picked this particular topic.
That's right.
This is the one that got the most votes, so that's why we picked it. And
all right.
Go ahead, wifey.
Okay, when we talk about that, man, this is a shaky subject, because a lot of people don't like to talk about building because it's so easy to speak words to destroy. So in building, you have to remember that it is quicker. Let me say this. It is quicker to destroy than to build. So be careful of what you do with your tongue. You got to be careful what you say with your mouth, because what you speak out of your mouth, it speaks life and death, and how you build that foundation. Because a lot of times people say a lot of different things, and you don't realize that you are tearing your foundation apart. And matter of fact, I want to say this. A lot of times we need to ask the question, not a lot of times, but we need to ask the question, what are we building on? Because you can build, okay, let's just start with the foundation of a house. Anybody that's in construction, they know that they have to test the soil, to see if it's quicksand, sand. Because I had a few friends back in Texas that was in construction, and they was telling me all the dynamics and all the logistics that go into building a home. So with that being said, what is your foundation built on? Is it built on quicksand? Is it built on? Is your house made of hay? Is your house made of stone? What is your house? What is your foundation built on? So I'm gonna pass it over to hubby so he can explain, the dynamics of building the structure of, of a home, a happy home in a relationship.
But like what wifey was just saying, when you have a home, now you got to think of a relationship like this, because a relationship is a structure. It's two people coming together to connect, to build, to love, to have compassion for each other. The integrity has to be there, stability, humility, security, all of these things. These are some of the essentials. So those are some of the building blocks of a healthy relationship. So as she was saying, when you start with your foundation, you want your foundation not to be on shaky ground. You want it to be made out of something that is extremely solid, something like titanium or whatever.
Whatever it is.
The hardest, metal or iron or whatever's on the planet Earth. You want your structure to be intact, and you want it to have a strong foundation. You do not want a house built on quicksand. You do not want a house built on regular sand. Like I said, you want it on a strong foundation. And the reason why I'm saying that, and I said it twice for a particular reason, because people tend to think that however you start a relationship, however you start a relationship, that is just going to be solid. And that's not necessarily true. Because usually the way you start a relationship is going to be the way that you end the relationship, right? So having a strong foundation, you have those essentials that I was just referring to, you have them in place. Then you start to build the walls. You start to build the outer frame. And in a relationship, how do you do that? You open up. You let your partner know what's going on with you.
And I want to throw this in there. It is pointless to build a life on a foundation of illusions. Because a lot of times, people want to be in a relationship and you may get into it because he look good, or because the sex is good, or because he compliments you well, or you just a nice arm piece. But it's an illusion. It's nothing that God has joined together. It's something that you have put together. So then you wonder, when you do decide to get married, you have all of these issues. You have all of these conflicts coming up. And you was like, well, when we was together, and we was living together and things was going well, why in the world is things falling apart now that we are married?
True.
That's how it always happened. Because first of all, your foundation was built on flesh, on a fleshly foundation, because it was about the body and the sex and the intertwining of, I love you, and when it's really I lust you, because because the foundation was not built on a spiritual getting to know each other, and starting, that foundation of building of what you want in each other as individuals, what you're looking for. Because a lot of times, we can write our vision and we can make it plain. You can say, listen, I want them to be, listen, I never prayed. All I said was, God, what is your will? Now, this is my second time around for marriage. This is Divine's first time. All I said was, God, let your will be done. I didn't know I was going to get married again. I didn't say I wanted him to be yellow with hazel eyes and pink lips, and I wanted him to be 6'4". And I had no particular, I had no list of things that I wanted, in a man. But all I knew was I wanted someone to add to my happiness. I wanted someone to understand where I came from. It's for, I came from an abusive background, and I wanted somebody to come alongside to help me heal and walk with me during that process. Because a lot of times you get with someone and then they hear your story. I'm not gonna lie, I thought I was gonna run Divine off, because I was like, okay, I'm just waiting. I'm waiting to see if he's gonna run, but he didn't run. He was like, okay, I got something to start here. And he was like, you know what? That's not gonna run me off. He said it just like that. He said, what makes you think that this is going to run me off? And then I just began to say, wow, this is a man that is after, he's a man after God's own heart. He saw the hurt and the pain that I was going through.
And the good in you.
Yeah, and I was just like, and I was always a person that, you know, I was the Joshua 24:13, I believe it says, as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord, and all of that. But then on the inside, you can have this beauty, you know, you think about the Luther Vandross song, you know, a house, a home is not a house is not a home, you know, a house is not a whatever, how you say it, a house is not a home. And you can build a house, but what is inside your house? You can have a lot of hurt, a lot of pain. You can have so many things going on. Yes, you have a house, but the foundation is cracked. Yeah, of course, when you buy a home, it's going to shift. It's going to, you know, do whatever it's going to do. But I had a house with broken pipes. I had a house with cracked walls, and it was almost like God put my husband in my life to be the repairman, if you will. Because he really did help repair a lot of things in my life and to help me see my worth. You know, because it's almost like equity. He helped me to see that I had equity in my life.
No doubt.
So, go ahead, babe.
And you know, that's funny because we're talking about building and destroying. And we want to build our relationship, but we want other people to build their relationship. So there's a long list of stuff.
Yes,
I actually had to write stuff down. I have so much stuff written down, you know, just the points, because it's a bunch of them. But in regards to what Wifey was just talking about, we were feeding positive energy towards each other in the relationship, because if you do that, it will feed the relationship.
Yes.
So basically that's what was taking place. You know, Wifey might have thought that I was going to leave. But regardless to whatever she thought, I was able to see the good in her. I was able to see the good person. I was able to see the good intentions, you know. I didn't just see the part of her that had been damaged due to her past events, you know. I just knew she was a good woman. But, and I still see that she's a good woman. And I just want to talk a little bit more about some of the other things that we can do to build relationships. You know, that's one of the things. Positive energy has to go back and forth. You have to have that connection.
Right.
A woman wants to feel like she's connected to her husband or her man. She wants to feel that she's admired, that she's adored. She wants to feel that she's able to trust him. She wants to feel secure. You know, some people look at, or some women look at men or their man in their life, and I'm just saying this, they kind of look at him in a Christ-like sense, like a Christ-like sense, meaning that they see him as the king in their relationship, or, you know, the one that's, you know, actually the head, you know. But there's so many of them. One of the main things, and this is not in any particular order, I'm just going to say some of the things and we're going to discuss it, you know. One of the main things, in order to build your relationship, you have to be sure that you keep the romance alive. Physical intimacy is a main part of having a relationship. You know, for instance, some people could get together, even me and Wifey to a certain degree. You know, when we were together earlier, you know, we may have been more intimate physically than we are now. But it's not due to lack of love or due to lack of a connection. It's just due to, you know, work schedules and other things that come into play. But you definitely have to keep that as one of the main focus, because, like, you know, focus in your relationship. Because, like I said, women want that. You know, they want that touching. That's almost a form of nourishment, you know, when their husband touches them, hugs them, you know. And intimacy doesn't have to just be physical.
Right.
You know, just convo, asking about her day, you know, asking her how she's doing and stuff like that. One of the ways that you can also build intimacy, instead of, you know, you staying up watching Sports Center or whatever while she's going to sleep, go to bed together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Go to bed together. You know, even if you're not tired. I mean, you don't have to do it all the time. Maybe you want to watch TV. Maybe it might be a show. She might want to watch a show and maybe I'm feeling a little tired. But sometimes we should come together and be like, babe, you tired? I'm like, yeah, I'm tired. And you might even get that little look like, yeah, I'm tired.
So silly.
My eyebrows going up. Yeah, babe, I'm tired. And, you know, I'm tired. You know, and I'm saying it jokingly, but it's true.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised the little things that you can do towards your wife or to, you know, your significant other that could just be so profound. You know, another thing, thank your partner for the little things. Let them know that they are appreciated. You know,
Like
I
Tupac.
may not always be the best person at, showing appreciation towards my wife, but she knows that I love her. I try my best to at least let her know that. With all that I do. Do I fall short sometimes? Yes. Matter of fact, let me go into a conversation that we had this morning.
We always have a conversation.
We're gonna tie this in because this show is really a blessing.
Yes,
it's a blessing to us because in talking about these things that we're talking about with other people, we are also helping ourselves and we're also helping our relationship as well. It's going to bring our bonds closer. It's going to tie our bonds tighter. It's almost like a shoestring. You tie the shoestring together and you pull it into a knot, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to pull it into a knot and get it as tight as we can because we don't want nothing to come in place to damage what we have.
Be tripping over shoestring.
Exactly. And this was funny. My wife was talking to me this morning, and listen, men, listen to what I'm getting ready to say. This is very important. Women as well. Just because somebody tells you something and it hurts, you still have to take heed to what's being said. You know what I mean? The truth is the truth, whether it hurts or not. I mean, you could tell somebody lovingly or whatever, but my wife was talking to me this morning, and she was talking more than me. And, if y'all know me, I'm a talker. But anyway, so I was sitting there listening, and she made some valid points. Now, we talking about building and destroying your relationship. So she said, Divine, a couple of things. One thing, she said, sometimes when you talk, you have a way of saying things as if you're dictating. And I'm talking about to her. Like we said, we're going to keep it honest. We're going to talk about actually what's going on, and then we're going to touch other stuff as well, but we're keeping it honest and true to ourselves. So she was like, sometimes when you say things, the way you say it, you kind of like dictate to me. And I'm not, and I had told her, and I told her numerous of times that I'm not doing it intentionally. Sometimes I do come off as being arrogant. She said that today. It kind of hurt, but like I say, the truth may hurt, but I would prefer her to tell me the truth and tell me exactly how she's feeling so that I could be able to correct those behaviors. So she told me sometimes the way I talk, I could be kind of demanding, maybe I don't listen as much. I need to learn how to listen more. She told me sometimes that when I talk, because I've read a lot of books, and I could come across as saying that I know. I have the I know-itis a lot.
Yeah.
And when she said that, I agreed with her. Maybe instead of saying I know, just maybe don't say nothing and just take heed and just absorb what the person is trying to say to me. Her. Because the relationship isn't just with your significant other. You also have relationships with people on different levels. And another thing she said was, like I said, the listening, fall back from knowing too much, dictation, and actually, this is the last one I'm going to say in regards to this, and I'm going to pass it back to my wife. When you say stuff, make sure that you carry it through. Just don't say something just to say it. The action, be applicable with it. The action should follow what you're saying you're going to do.
Right.
And in being honest, I do fall short, in that regard sometimes. And I just wanted to bring that level of honesty to you. I don't want us to sit here and make it seem like we're some relationship gurus and all that. We're keeping it true to us and the things that affect us. And like I said, this show is really a blessing because in helping others, we also help ourselves as well.
Right. So yeah, and I always go to I go to my husband all the time, and I sit down and I talk to him. So we have our morning prayer. I pray at night, he prays in the morning. So we're incorporating some new things, to expand. It's like when you buy a house and you want to add on to it. Those are some things that's a blessing when you can add on to your house. Because anybody in Texas know when you buy a house, if you got a lot of land in the back, you can put a bedroom, another garage, or whatever. And that's what we're doing. We're continuously adding to our building of our relationship, and we're taking things away that doesn't need to be part of our foundation. Because a lot of times you can have a lot of clutter with
static.
Yeah, a lot of static, a lot of clutter. You could just become a hoarder of what it is that you want in this house, and then it's just all your stuff. And the other person doesn't even have a voice. So I try not to because my husband, we both have strong personalities. So if you're in a relationship with someone and y'all both have strong personalities, sometimes that could be kind of hard. But that's what I was getting to. Mm-hmm. It has to be some compromise there. Mm-hmm. It can't be everything Ira's way and everything his way. We have to meet in the middle, so that way the thing could be balanced. Is it going to be balanced all the time? No. Because a lot of times my husband he'll tell me something and I'll be like, child, please. I'm a Southern chick, so I just think everybody is good people. I just think everybody is cool. And he said, listen, Ira, you got to have your eyes open. You are on the East Coast. You're not in Texas. And so it's like, and I know people are people everywhere, and people come into your life, to build you, to tear you down, to, so whatever they try to do. I just thank God for all types of people, because it helps me to build that character that I need. And that's also a good part of your building, is to build character. Yes. So when you are building that foundation, and you choose the foundation and the walls and everything that you want character in the building of your foundation of your home. And so my husband and I, we have a lot of good things. And I was so upset. I was like, well, what do we really have in common? Because my husband's love language, he's an exalter. He exalt, encourage. Baby, yes, you can. He was like, yes, you can. Get out there. Do it, girl. Lose that weight. Do whatever you want to do. Mm-hmm. So he's like, we're like, I don't want to call him a cheerleader, but we cheer each other on. So if it's something that I want to do, he's not going to tear me down and say, girl, what you want to lose weight for? Because in my mind, if you don't want me to lose weight, I'm just assuming you want me to stay, all slovenly and looking like burp and slurp, and you just want me to look bad. But no, I want to take care of myself, because I want to live a long life with my husband. So with that being said, I'm taking care of self-care. I'm taking care of myself. And I'm taking care of him in the process, because I don't want him to have a broke down wife. I want him to have someone that is healthy, spiritually, emotionally, and physically. Now, we're going to get into some serious things, when we're talking about building and destroying. Because when you've come from a relationship, and, we got this attitude and the whole neck roller thing, that old sorry so-and-so, you're just like your daddy, you ain't gonna never be nothing. And that tearing down of someone's spirit. You just tearing them down. You just chopping them off at the kneecaps. Every chance you get, you're chopping away at someone's character. You're chopping away at the essence of who they are. Because if a man is not strong enough, he'll believe what you tell him. So I wrap this lie and tell you ain't nothing, and you ain't gonna never amount to nothing. You're sorry, you're lazy. And I wrap it up and I give it to him, and he receive it. He is going to receive it, unwrap it, and he's gonna say, well, yeah, I guess I am sorry, and I guess I am this, and I guess I am that. So I have
nobody's telling them anything different.
Right. So when you go to Proverbs 18:16, it talks about death and life in the power of the tongue. So you can destroy your own relationship. You may not say nothing, but you could be thinking it, and then you take all those negative ideas and how you feeling, and that stuff is going out into the atmosphere, and what you put out there is going to come back to you. It's going to come back, and then you wondering how come things are not evolving in your relationship. Is because you not only tore down the man that you said that you love, you tearing yourself down too. Because if I say something to my husband and I say, you so-and-so and so-and-so, that's a reflection of myself, because I have low self-esteem. I have some stuff going on with me, and then sometime in the heat of, when you're going through adversities of life and you're going through certain things. And when I first moved here, listen, I just thought it was just going to be a walk in the park and things was going to be smooth sailing. Psych. And I had to endure some things. My husband was hurt. I had to get out there and work a couple of jobs and do massages on the side. I had this attitude. I don't want to live in this old so-and-so place and this and that. And when I was talking to my dad, he said, listen, Chubb. He said, listen, this is not you. Don't let your environment or your circumstances dictate to what it is. It's just right now. Things don't stay the way that they are forever. Things do change. But how do those things change is with your mindset, is what you say. You know? So my husband, when I met him, the first thing he told me, he said, I would love to have a radio show. I would love to have this. He is the most faithful, grateful person I know. I'm serious. And then he even called me out one time. He said, oh, so what does your Bible say about faith? And I had the Scooby-Doo look, and I looked at him. I was like, who are you talking to? You know? And I had this attitude like, who are you talking to? But yes, his attitude, you know, was the Hebrews 11:1. Faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. He said, Ira, you don't have the see it to believe it attitude. You can't have it, oh, I got to see it to believe it. You know, because things happen in the supernatural. And that's a lot of times that's how the building of our foundation, because we, like I say, we build our foundation on fleshly, natural adjectives or however you want to say it, and we put all this stuff together, and then we slap God on it, and we put the slap. Okay, well, God is in it. I mean, you know, I understand. You know, we had sex before marriage and all of that. That's why he gonna marry me. Oh, I got a baby by you, so you gonna stay with me, and this is how it's gonna be. And then it's that reverse psychology right now in this day of time where the women is wearing the pants and the man is wearing the skirt. So you don't even know how the foundation is set up now. You don't even know you don't even know who's the head and who the neck. Because my grandmother said, listen, you may not be the head, but you can be the neck.
No, some people don't even know who they are.
I know. You don't even know who you are.
The neck. They don't even know who they are. They don't even know they have a head or a neck.
Okay.
You know, so it's funny. But it's funny, two of the things that my wifey said is some of the things that you need to build. Come together on common grounds. She said that. And then is also the language, love language. Different people, we receive love in different ways. And a couple of them, let me just tell you real quick. Acts of service, physical touch, quality times, words of affirmation, and gifts. Those are the different types of ways that we receive and give love. And for me, my wife used to always tell me, she'd be like, Divine, one of yours is words of affirmation.
Yes, it is.
Because whatever she was going through, I would come to her and be like, babe, listen. It's still good regardless.
Yeah.
You know, or I'll be like, babe, I love you anyway. Or she'd be like, well, you think I should lose some weight or something like that? And I'd be like, babe, I love you just the way you are. You know, I married you, got with you when you was however amount of weight you was, and I love you the same way. You know, it's about building, not tearing down. You know, I think sometimes we could be judgmental and selfish. That's two of the main things that could break down a relationship as well. You know, not letting somebody speak for themselves, you know, not letting them open up and be who they are. Just remember, when you get in a relationship, is you, is the other person, and is the actual relationship. So it's three things, entities that are a part of the relationship. You know, so when you come together, you have your own identity, me, she has her own identity, and then the relationship has an identity that's created with the two people involved. So what I would tell people, allow the person to be who they are. Don't try to change somebody, because you're not going to be able to change them unless they're willing to want to change. And the other thing, if I know I come with things that I value and things that I think should occur in a relationship, and I know that she comes with her values, ambitions and stuff, and things that she would like to go in a relationship. When we come together as one, that's what our name is. Plug. When we come together as one in a relationship, we should come together and co-create what we expect should occur.
Right.
You know, we should come together as co-creators. It shouldn't just be one person that's dominant. Like, for instance, my wife, when we was talking earlier, she says she's the one that likes to plan in advance.
I do. I love to plan.
Right? I'm the one that I'm more into just for today. We stay into today. But we can plan, but don't lose focus on what's going in the here and now, because sometimes some of us will think so far ahead that we'll lose focus to what's going on right now. You know, and we'll project, and then we be projecting, and we be lost in the projection and reality of you going the opposite direction from the way we're thinking. But I say all that to say, come together as co-creators. being that I know she's the one that plans ahead, I'm the one that's in just for today. You know, so I said, babes, this was the suggestion this morning. I said, babes, so you plan what you would like for us to do. You bring it to me, co-creating. Then you bring it to me. And then when you bring me the idea of what you want us to do, where you want us to go, where you want us to be, what business, whatever, we come together, we talk about it, and then we do it together. So just because she's planning it, she's not leaving me out. And just because I'm the one who stays into today, and I may see stuff from a different angle, I'm not leaving her out. We come together, co-create, and then we go on our merry way and try to carry out these things. But a lot of people get into relationships and they don't think about that aspect. The aspect they think about is doing what they want to do.
Yes.
You know, being selfish.
You have to die to yourself.
You can't be selfish in a relationship, and definitely you can't be selfish in a marriage.
Yeah, because I've heard a lot of my girlfriends say this. They'll get with a guy and they want to be in a relationship, and this is one of the things that kind of just get underneath my toenail, as my grandmother would say. This is how I am. Okay, well, why in the world you want to be in a relationship if you gonna stay with this attitude? Well, you know I didn't cook when you married me, so what's the problem now?
You better learn.
But when y'all was just dating and going out, you didn't mind running, get that chicken that's 2 for $12 at Acme or HEB or wherever you live, and cooking some sides to make sure he has something. So now all of a sudden you got this attitude and this high maintenance attitude that you better bring that check home. And I come from a line of women that was like that. You better bring that check home. I don't want to hear nothing because you know I got to get my hair done and my nails done. I am so far. Listen, I'm so far from being a high maintenance chick. I don't get my hair done unless they say, hey, you want to get your hair braided? And I'll call Felicia Jones and say yes. And she say, yes, sis, come on through. I got you. That's probably the only thing that I'll probably do for myself. Get my nails done. Nope. It's not that I can't. To go and buy a whole slew of clothes and all of that, that's not important. Because my thing is, I've always been an entrepreneur, and I'm trying to leave an inheritance spiritually, what the Word of God says, and financially. I want to leave a legacy. I want to leave a heritage for my children. So if I build it, they can continue on with the process of the building of, the Warren family. Hey, they did this, but I also want to be the builder up of positive words. I want to speak life. If I see my friends, if I see anyone that's doing something positive and they doing kingdom work, I got you. I'm not talking about you. I'm not saying, girl, you see her, she doing X, Y, and Z, and now she thinks she better than me and all of this. And I'm just like, chill. Because because a kingdom-minded person will know it's not about you anyway. It's not about you anyway. So you got to decrease in order so God can increase in you so that you will be able to be that sound-minded person that can go into it. Because God is the opposite. God, he builds. he builds and then he destroys. You know what I'm saying? We destroy because, the world is so backwards. We destroy and then we build. So, and it's just, totally out of line. It's not like you find a foreclosure house and you decide you want to go in and do renovation. That's something different. That's something totally different. If you're going in and you doing some renovation. So that's how I tell my husband, I say, I know I got to do some renovation. I need to do something with my mouth. I need to get my attitude together. Because he say something to me, I used to pop off. I still do. I'm not going to lie. I be like, what? What's that about? I don't get that. Because my husband is he has a lot of wisdom. And I thank God for that. Because wisdom and knowledge and understanding, but most of all, he has a lot of love for me. So if he's telling me something, he's telling me something for my own good because he loves me. He's not telling me so and I said, well, maybe I need to reevaluate him. Because, okay, he can dictate sometimes. But he's telling me because he care or... like some people say, it's not, what you say, but sometimes it is what you say,
and it's how you say
it. So it can go both ways. So I'm not gonna use that and act like that's not the all and the end all. But relationships is so important. Just like relationships with my girlfriends, like close sisters in the Lord, like Tiffany Love Hart. That's my girl. She was the one that we met on Facebook, and I said, listen, Tiffany, I ain't going to church in a month of Sundays. Look, I don't want to go to no church. Listen, I don't want to hear nothing. A broken clock is right 2 times a day. I don't want nobody shot by hen over me or none of that. But it was the connection that she and I had. And I went to a conference, Bring Back the Glory Now conference, which led me into getting my zeal back. I lost my zeal, y'all. I wasn't reading the word of God. My husband, he was like, well, why don't we get the word? Why don't we read the Bible? And I would just look at him like, I'm not reading no Bible. But I didn't realize I was destroying my relationship with the one that created me. The one that I say that's greater in me. I was destroying my relationship with God, my staying vertical. I was horizontal all day long. I was looking at what was going on behind me. I was looking at distractions. I wasn't focused. And so I was allowing things to come into my eye gate, my ear gate. People was all in my head talking, yeah, girl, I wouldn't go down there and move there for no man. What you talking about? You going down there? And people didn't understand this was all God. It was all God. For trust.
Look, and Babe said a lot in that, but but in saying what she said, she was speaking her mind.
Yeah.
She's talking about the truth. People, please, if you're in a relationship, please let each other know how you feel. Mm-hmm. Open up, speak your mind, talk. One of the things that causes relationships to break up is a lack of communication. Right. Even if you think you're going to say something to your significant other that may hurt, just say it in a loving manner, if possible. If you can't, just say it how you mean it.
Oh, just humble yourself and don't say nothing at all until you get yourself in the right mindset to say what you need to say in a proper way. True. Because once you say something, like the old saying, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words do hurt. Mm-hmm. Words hurt. Well, look, you can slap me, punch me, I'm a heal. I'm left with scars from my past, but at the same time, those words, as a child, I was told a lot of things when I was growing up, and I believed the lie. I believed that what was told to me. Oh, you're not a good singer. Oh, girl, you won't be able to rap. What you mean you gonna do X, Y, and Z? You will never be, never. So I had that never, always, you can't. So you need to have a funeral tonight if you stuck on, I'll never be. I can't. Who said I'll be able to do this? Because God has given you something. He's giving you an anointing. He said, I knew you before you was formed in your mother's womb. So God already knew what you would be. All you got to do is just open your mouth and speak that thing and walk in it. That's all you got to do. But I'm just saying, I said that's all you got to do. But that may be difficult for some people because it was difficult for me at one time.
And like what I was just saying about, when you speak your mind, and it's still tying into what she was saying, sometimes you might have to just say it how you have to say it at that particular time, but you might have to fall back a little and wait for your anger to simmer down some.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of the times when you start to say something just, not thinking, you can say some real hurtful things. And like my wifey just said, you can't pull those things back. So you got to keep in mind that kindness is a virtue.
Yeah.
That's a virtue in a relationship. That's essential
to
be
essential.
Kind. Because a lot of times, all right, let me just say this. A lot of the times we be on our best behavior at given times, right? Which is cool. That's a good thing. We may fall short, fall off. We may not be on our best behavior. But at the end of the day, if this is someone that you love, someone that you want to be with, someone that you have compassion for, and just someone that you really see as an intricate part of your life, treat them with kindness. And it may sound like something that's really simple, but kindness could go a long way. And then another thing on top of that, there are going to be times when you have arguments, like Wifey was just talking about, or you might say something out of place or whatever. If you are in a relationship and you never have any arguments, and when I altercations, but I'm not talking about physical altercations, but if you don't have any arguments, any disagreements or anything like that, that means that somebody isn't really being their true self.
Right.
Because we're not even built for us. Humans aren't even built for us to always agree on everything the same.
Right.
So, in other words, if there is no kind of disagreement or something, somebody is just conforming in a relationship, and that could be just as bad as not being. I mean, that could just be as bad as being your true self and just saying something that's wrong. Because if you're conforming, are they really getting the essential you?
Mm-hmm.
Are they really getting the real you? Are they getting you in your true form? You know, are you just saying things because you know it's something that they want to hear, or are you just really saying it because it's something that you mean? So that's something that you have to really keep in mind. Another thing, we have to practice letting go. This ties into this. We have to practice letting go. Sometimes things are going to occur. You're going to have to be able to forgive and forget. Some things may take longer to forget, like if trust is broken, or if it's like if somebody was to cheat, you know. But you got to ask yourself, how much do you really love this individual?
Right.
Is it about the love? You know, could you get past that? You know, you might have to bring God back in. Well, God should be in the relationship anyway, but you have to bring God back in and be like, listen, A, B, and C happen, but I want D to happen. You know, I want us to continue to have a relationship and be in a good space. So forgiving and forgetting is one of the main things. And I'm going to pass it back to you in a sec, babe. But I just want to say this. It's a lot of things that come into building and destroying. And we're not saying it in any particular order. And I mean, I have so much stuff that I could talk about. But we're just trying to tap on to some of the main things and, you know, give you some of what we actually just think would help you continue to build your relationship. I just want to say that because the list is like 100. I could go beyond how many things, you know, that you could add to the list. But I'm sorry, babe. Go ahead.
No. I like what you said, babe, you know, about, you know, just harboring, you know, unforgiveness. Mm-hmm. And I read something and it says resentment and bitterness build the cage that only punish yourselves. Mm. You can punish your own self. You put your own self in the cage. Mm-hmm. And
like a parakeet. Yeah,
and you just in the cage and you think you are hurting the other person, but you really punishing yourself. Mm-hmm. You know, like my grandmother used to say, child, you doing all this huffing and puffing and crying over a piece of candy. You ain't doing nothing but hurting yourself. Mm-hmm. And then in the process, you are hurting yourself. You building up all this stress. You know, you get migraine headaches,
resentment, building up,
and somebody say something to you and you popping off. And he's just saying, listen, if he come to you, my husband is always gentle with me. And I thank God for that. Because like I said, I'm a little radical. And I'll be like, what? So, and he's always come. He's never be like, well, Ira, don't you da-da-da-da-da. He's never done that to me. Now, like I said, on the other hand, I've never just been all in his face and all of that. But I'll, you know, pop off and let a cuss come out. I'm not going to lie. I'll just be like, what are you talking about? You know, why did you pick up the loaf of bread? You know, so... It could just be something simple, you know, as that, but it could just be something that's going on with me, not necessarily him. So I could just take it out on him because I don't have nothing better else to do with my energy, you know, besides just take it out on him because he's just the closest person to me. So I'm just going to take it out on him. And that's not right. So I am learning to go somewhere and sit down and calm my nerves. Okay, just for instance, I cooked a whole bunch of food for the Super Bowl party, right? And I'm a nurturer. I love to make sure anybody that's from down south, not to say that anyone here don't have that nurturing, come on in, I got y'all, I'm going to cook everything and all that. And I wanted to go upstairs to make sure that everybody had enough food. And my husband was like, babe, don't worry about it. Because if ain't nobody up there monitoring it, they going to eat what they want anyway. And I was like, no, because I want to make sure Pastor and First Lady and, you know, I just want to make sure everybody gets some food. He said, babe, don't worry about it. And I was like, okay. So I listened, and I turned and I continued to watch the Super Bowl game. But hubby kept saying, go ahead. I said, look here, bro. I said, look. It's done. Quit. Don't keep nagging me. You know, I said, because listen, I know what the Bible says about a nagging woman. Because it says it's better for a man to live on the rooftop of a house than to live in a house with a nagging woman. And I don't want to be that woman. All so right. Don't nag me. So that's
Sorry, I apologize.
don't sing, babe. That's all right. That's all right. Free yourself, brother. Free yourself. Okay, babe. I'm passing it back to you.
You know, where she said that was funny because at the end of the day, I was just trying to let her know that if nobody's up there monitoring it, people going to take what they want. And at the end of the day, you know your intention. You know why you were doing it. You were doing it for a good reason. If people want to eat the food up, you know, let them eat. Maybe they might not even have a next meal. You know, maybe that could have been the reason why they was filling up their plates. You know, whoever it was.
Yeah, you're right.
Never
You're
know.
Right. You're right.
You know, just because we have a meal that's going to be on the plate later on that day, it didn't mean that they did. You know, but and that's how I looked at it overall. You know, at the end of the day,
yeah, he's the analytical thinker.
God got it. You know what I mean? Unless you're going to stand there with a whip or telling people, all right, put 2 noodles on your plate. If you ain't going to sit there talking about, yo, put a noodle. You know, everybody get a noodle. Or everybody get a piece of chicken.
I was just saying moderation, boo.
It's not. If you ain't going to be standing there with the whip, they going to let it slip. Right on their plate. If you ain't got the whip there, they going to let it slip. But, you know, we got to have fun with it. You know, serious topics. But we got to have fun. That's just who we are. And me and wifey joke around a lot. But this is another thing. 2 things first. You got to be a good listener. That's one of the things. Because if you're not listening, you're not going to know what's taking place. You're not going to know what's occurring. You're not going to know how your partner's feeling. You're not going to know if they happy, sad. Well, maybe you could based on body language. But you're not going to really know what's going on. So be attentive. Be a good listener. You know, and I'm going to say this one. A lot of people that I talk to or have been talking to about relationships, a lot of people tend not to let their past go.
Oof.
Now, and I know I'm skipping to something different, but I'm just trying to get as much in as we can within this hour. Some people I talk to, and this is the truth. Some people are still controlled by stuff that happened to them when they was 10 years old.
Yeah.
You know, like I was talking, when we was talking last week, and I was saying that what occurred to wifey, she had to have some acceptance so that she can get past it. You have to gain some kind of acceptance. You know, if you can't get past something on your own, like we said, bring God and pray. You know, meditate. If that's not the case, and you don't feel like that's working, you might have to get some outside help.
Yeah.
You know, because if you stay stuck in that mode, mental illness is real. And if you stay stuck in that mode, you're always concentrating on something that happened in your past and you haven't gotten over it. You're going to bring that same 10-year-old boy or girl, you're going to bring that person to the relationship. You know what I mean? And when you're bringing that person to the relationship, you know, you're not healing and you're not being truly authentic to the person that you're in a relationship with. You know, so don't let your past haunt you. Don't let your past, you know, hold you hostage. You know, just try to be the best person you could be. Maybe you might have to get some counseling. Maybe you might have to get some spiritual advice, some therapy. But we're just talking about everything that you can do to continue to build your relationship. You know, be honest. You know, we're talking about honesty. Like when I was talking about earlier about what we were talking about this morning. My wife was honest with me. Did some of it hurt? Yes, but I stayed receptive. You know, I stayed receptive to what she was saying because I really want to change. I want to be a better person. I want to be a better human being overall. I want to be a better husband. You know, I want her to see me in a better light. I don't want her to see me as some kind of dictating fool that has all this ego and pride. And I'm just trying to let people know that I have the greatest mind on the planet Earth. Because that's not true. I don't even feel that way. That's why I read books. I read books almost every day.
Yeah,
even if it's a page or two, I read. You know, that's just something that I like to do. But I shouldn't just use that, you know, like, oh, I'm the great mind and you should listen to me. No, it's not that. You know, another thing I think we should do, me and wifey, I feel that we kind of have this down. When you connect initially, that's the first connection. But you have to stay emotionally connected to that person. You know, connecting, you know, we got together. We felt it was something spiritual there. Trust was built, like I said before. We were able to discuss what was going on with us, share different aspects of our lives, and we gravitated more and more toward each other. We gravitated more and more towards each other. that was the initial connection that got us to a certain point. But in order for the relationship to continue to go on, you have to stay in tune with each other.
Yeah, and you got to see some stuff within yourself too,
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of times we get into a relationship, and I'm just speaking from a woman perspective. You know, it's just like, girl, I tried with him, but he picked his toenails and girl, he just had his drawers all over the place, and you may not, you're gonna have likes and dislikes. There's gonna be some things that you're not gonna like about that person. You be like, why don't you pick your clothes up, put your dishes in the sink, And so I'm that homebody, I like for things to be a certain way, and so what I do is say, okay, babe, if I cook, would you mind putting the dishes in the dishwasher? Child, please. He gonna go in there and run that water like the old school people, and he gonna wash one plate at a time. And I'm just like, babe, that's why we got this here technology, so you can go out here and rinse them off, like my grandmother say, rinse them off, and put them in a dishwasher. But no, he wants to wash each
dish.
And so I'll be like, ah! And I say, but you know what? I can't be mad, because at least he's washing the dishes. Mm-hmm. So how he does it, I shouldn't sweat it. Mm-hmm. He's doing it, right? Right. He's doing it.
And look, that's the funny thing. Just how we receive information different, different emotions and stuff that, when we start talking about stuff, men and women receive stuff differently. We also do stuff differently, so.
Yeah, we do.
And look, I'm just glad that we're able to put some of the stuff that we go through behind us and not hold a grudge toward each other. Because that's another thing. And let's talk about that. Wifey, when we go through our little altercation, wifey could bounce right back.
I bounce back.
She bounced back like a rubber band or a Spalding ball. I'd be like, hold up.
He sit there like this. Face be
I
red as a bull.
I don't say nothing because I'm one of them individuals. If this is another thing in building a relationship, don't take everything personal.
Yeah.
All right. Now I'm saying this because this is actually some of the things that I do. Not necessarily I take it personal, but I decipher like everything. So when she say stuff to me, I be taking it to a whole nother level. She could say something and I done took it to the 10th power of what she said. So I have to sit back and actually gather myself. I have to fall back a little and let myself calm down, let the feelings and emotions simmer. And like I said, she's the bounce back person. So sometimes when I'm in my simmering mode, she be like, babe, you just letting it go? You just letting it carry on? Or you can't just bounce back? She'd even say, you can't just bounce back like me. But now we have to get to the point that we receive things different. Babes, you could bounce back. I'm not a Spalding. I'm not the old school handballs. I'm not a rubber band like
Spalding.
So we are starting to learn more and more how to allow each other to be who we really are. If I have to take more time, then maybe I might need a time. I might need to go sit in the corner on a little chair or something,
Listen, because I am the Ephesians 4:26 girl. Do not, and I know my saints out there know it, do not let the sun go down on your wrath and give opportunity for the devil. Because once we do that, we surrender everything to him, and he's going to wreak havoc. He's going to be like, yes, I got him. I got him now. And so I always say this to my husband. I said, if you love me and I love you, who's the enemy? We can't let him let the devil come in and just tear up our relationship, our marriage. We're in a relationship, but we're in a marriage. We're in a covenant. No doubt. We didn't just go and say, yeah, we're gonna go get married, and he was looking good and she was looking good, and it's deeper than that.
It's real.
It's deeper than that. And I tell a lot of people, so I hear a lot of my girlfriends, where's my Boaz? Girl, quit saying Boaz, because his name ain't gonna be Boaz when he show up, and if he is, that would surprise me.
I hope not.
His name ain't Boaz.
Yeah, Boaz.
Yeah, because they got this. Well, I ain't gonna even get into that. But anyway, God sent me Divine Warren. God may send you Kenny. He may send you Gerardo or whatever. But he's gonna send you the one that is for you.
Exactly.
But in the meantime, between time, continue to serve God, because like the Bible said in Corinthians chapter 7. When you're married, you're concerned about that husband, the children, the household. Not to say that God should be edged out, you know. But when you're single, you can focus on being vertical and staying, you know, with God. You know, it's like when you're a wife, you got to get the bill money together. You got to run out and buy the groceries. And I always tell my husband, I don't get kudos for cleaning the house and making sure there's a hot meal, making sure that his needs is met, making sure it's clean clothes for him to put on. I don't get kudos for that. Those are things that I was taught when I was a little bitty girl. So my Madea, she taught me all of those things. And I ain't talking about Tyler Perry Madea, even though he plays a good Madea, but that is the prototype. That is the Madea that I grew up with. You know, so she taught me how to be all of those things. But at the same time, when I wasn't married to Divine, I had to get somewhere and get some self-healing. Because you could get into a relationship and you could say, oh, I'm so ready. I want Kenny Boo. Oh, my God, I want this relationship. I don't want to be alone. You better get you some Michael Jackson and sing You Are Not Alone, because you're never alone, because God is always with you. You know, so you got to get to that part where you understand Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not into your own understanding. Because women, we can lean hard into our own understanding. We like, boo, let me tell you. This is what we go do. And it's not about us. You know, it becomes about us when God is in it. And we're doing his will. And we're moving in a direction of building more kingdom couples. You know, I can't tell you anything. I can't tell you nothing about marriage if I'm not trying to execute it the way God says to do it. Because God, you know, I believe in the deity. I believe in the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. They have the best relationship ever. I mean, it's excellent. You know, and I said, I want that type of relationship with my husband here on earth. Because y'all know, when we get on the other side, or when we come back down here, because we ain't going to heaven, because I don't know why people say we're going to heaven. We coming right on back down here, so we ain't going to be no marriages. So y'all need to learn how to build relationships and love now. Now, I'm not saying every relationship is for everybody, because you're going to come in contact with some people. You know, like some people say, a season, a reason, and a lifetime. You God put you in this person's life just to learn something from them.
Exactly.
And vice versa.
Everybody's not for the duration.
Everybody is not for the duration. I'm not saying that you just, you crazy if you don't hold on to everybody, because you can't hold on to everybody.
That's true.
You know, just like me, if I have an issue in my marriage, I don't go and talk to people about my relationship. I don't. Listen, and not to bring it up, but I am going to bring it up because I experienced it. I was with my first husband almost 20 years. And it was one of them fire, hell, and brimstone marriages, because the pastor said, look, y'all going to go to hell because y'all shacking up and da-da-da, so we got married. I was just turning 20 and he was in his 30s. And I learned that you can't run and tell everybody everything about your relationship.
No doubt. Because
that same person you running and telling, they probably said, girl, I knew that wasn't going to work out. They'll look at you and say, girl, well, what you going to do? See, I kind of sense some things about him. No, boo, it could be one or two things. You really didn't like him or you wanted him. So let's just be real. You know? So I know I'm a female. So I used to have the catty mentality. What you say? What? Oh, I was that girl a long time ago, but I'm not that woman. You know, so I make sure that whatever I have with my husband, like I have guys in my inbox, I'm going to put this out there. They be like, you know, you so beautiful and you so this. Yeah, bruh. I hear you. It's cool. But you not my husband. I don't need you telling me all of this stuff. We Facebook associates. We ain't even friends. You know, so we got to be careful with those things too. Who we confide in. If you got some issues going on with you and your husband, or your person that you are going to marry, y'all fiance, y'all getting ready to do the doggone thing, don't be running and telling some dude, oh, my husband don't even make love to me. He don't even buy me flowers. He don't even do X, Y, and Z. And so you opening up that door for somebody to come in and tear it all the way up.
They call that emotional cheating.
That's right. It's emotional cheating. Like my grandmother say, learn how to have some shut mouth grace. Shut your mouth. Because everybody is not for you.
Exactly.
That's what, y'all know what north, south, east, and west mean, huh? It means news if you put it together. It means news. So everybody don't need to have the news of what's going on in your household.
Exactly.
People don't have to have the news what's going on with you. So I have sisters that I can go to and talk about me as a woman and what's going on with me. You know, but for me to sit there and dog my husband out and he's this old high yellow so-and-so, I can't stand, you know, I'm not going to do that with you. And so don't ever, ladies, look for me to come to you and tell you about my husband, because I'm not going to do that. I'm not.
And the more people you bring into your relationship, the more interference that is going to take place. I got you. So that's definitely a thing. But let me just hit something real quick. We're going to stay on here an extra few minutes.
Okay.
You know. Emotional cheating. My wife kind of said, she was talking about that, you know, people coming to the inbox and talking to her and stuff like that. I see that a lot on social media. So emotional cheating is sharing your hopes and your dreams with someone other than your spouse or your mate. You know, and a lot of people get caught up in that because in our day and time, what we do, we share what's going on in our life and stuff like that. So we might put something like wifey said about, hey, you know, my husband might not be doing this or that, and then a guy will come in there and be like, oh, for real? And you be like, yeah. And it start off real subtle, because everybody ain't going to just come out and just
let you know
act like they a player. They're going to come out, oh, for real? So then they'll come in your inbox. Oh, yeah, how you doing today? Or they might say good morning and stuff like that to gain your attention. And then based on what you, and then based on how you react to them, that's how they'll, you know, continue to go on. If they feel like you're not really receptive right now, they'll fall back a little and they'll hit you every now and then. And then if they see you doing little posts about, oh, my husband's not doing this, or, you know, indirectly, you know, sliding in comments and people knowing it's about your significant other, they'll be like, well, you know, well, if that was me, I would have did this, you know, or I would have did it totally different, or I would have held your hand, or I don't know why he's not doing that for you. You need a man like me, you know, and that's how it creeps in. It's like a spider in a corner, just laying dormant, just waiting for that opportune time to attack you. And then you be like, for real? Yeah, I don't understand why he's doing that as well. And then when you do that, now you're opening up the door for them to be, you know, to be more persistent. Yeah, you know, sis, yeah, maybe we need to talk, because we could talk about that, because I know I could help you with this. Next thing you know, you turn around and look up. You're in a full-blown emotional relationship with a dude online or a female online that you don't even know nothing about. Just all due to you putting out your info and that interaction. And then a lot of people tend not to see that as cheating, but that's a form of cheating when you're emotionally tying yourself to another individual other than your mate. And one other thing, two more things. Insecurities. We have to deal with our insecurities. You know, at the end of the day, if you're insecure, you're going to more than likely show that you're insecure in more than one way. Because I'm not going to just say one way, and then your partner will pick up on that. You know, like if you're always accusing your partner of doing something and they're not doing something, sooner or later they might just do it just because you're saying they're doing it. And I'm not trying to give nobody an excuse, but that's how it happens sometimes. And another thing, listen, as men, we may not want our wife or some, you know, woman to do certain things, but we have to get out of being like a super controller dealing with those. You have to deal with those control issues. You know, even though you're in a relationship, even though that you're in a marriage, you can't just cut off your social life. You can't just expect your wife to cut off her social life. You can't just expect her to cut off friends that she's been dealing with 20, 30 years, unless it's some underlying motive, you know, that some guy's trying to come at him or something, or even some women nowadays, you know. If you see that and then, you know, they see it, that's something different. But if these are people that they consider true friends, they've been in their life and they've been having a healthy, you know, friendship with them, you can't just kind of be like, I'm here now, slam your fingers or your hand on the table, I'm here now, damn it, you got to stop it. It's all about me. Because you keep doing that, and you keep putting her in that predicament or putting him in that kind of predicament, you might just be by yourself.
Yeah, that push away thing is hard, you know. Because like I said, I have dudes in my inbox and they be like, well, does your husband look better than me? Boy, if you don't get out this, I'm just going to shut down Messenger.
I actually don't even think I look that good, to be honest with you.
But y'all tell him to just stop, you know. I think my husband is a good looking man, but I mean, you know, it's this comparison thing. It's like, okay, bruh. It's nothing that you really can say to me. You know, I'm still, I like my husband, he knows that I'm a people person. And yes, I say, hey, love, how this and how that, you know, and that's just part of who I am. And it's not to say I'm saying that because I'm trying to get with you. It's not, it's never that. I'm not trying to get with you. And I have, you know, people sending me different things. Like, I have a spiritual father. He been my spiritual father for a long time. You know, I've known him for a long time. And I just had to cut everybody off so I could focus on my husband and what it is that God was saying to me. Because a lot of times you can have a bunch of people in your ear telling you all of this stuff till you didn't hear nothing God said. So you want to do what you want to do concerning what some other man done said. And he leading you right into a divorce. Look, fool, I'm not going to listen to you. Because you don't have my best interest at heart. You know, you telling me something different. Like, okay, say for instance, I had some really good guy friends. Never slept with the dudes or any that I could look y'all straight on this screen and say, look, never slept with them or nothing like that. We was just really, really cool. And my husband said, look, he likes you. And, you know, I had the attitude like, look, bro, what you talking about? And then months go by, and then I get an inbox, send me a picture. What you talking about? I got pictures all over Facebook. What picture you looking for? You know, you didn't even give me a chance and this. I had to shut it down. And I was like, babe, you was right. I don't look at myself as being all that either. You know, but I do take care of myself. I take care of the creature God has created. I do my best to take care of who I am physically, mentally, and emotionally. But however, I still do struggle with things because a lot of times, I mean, when I was with the last guy before Divine and I got together, you have this thing where, okay, I know I'm married or I have this boyfriend and you want to try to hold on to Kenny Boo. Girl, let that boo go. Let him go. Let him go. Because he just my friend. But you liking the gestures. You like he told me my husband don't even tell me I'm beautiful every morning, but Kenny Boo do. You gotta let it go. Because you'll still open the door for the enemy to come in and destroy. We talking about build and destroy. Because you say you want to build with your husband, and oh, I gotta go. Here he come. Like I tell guys, listen, I don't hide nothing from my husband. So let's get that straight. I'm not gonna do that. I said because what I'm trying to hide is gonna catch up with me anyway. I'm not gonna hide anything. You know? If I text my pastor or something or whatever, look, babe, look, I'm showing you what this is. You know, I show he knows my phone, he knows my code. No, it's no secrets. And if it's something on my phone that needs to be questioned, I need to woman up and say, hey, I got into a conversation with somebody that shouldn't have been.
Oh, okay.
So that's what it is. And God is just, you know, he's just, like I say, he's doing a lot of work in me. He's doing some things, you know, through me. But we have to be careful, ladies, not to have Kenny Boo on the side because your husband ain't acting right. He got to go. He got to go. And I mean that. He has to go. You know, because if you sneaking and creeping and hotel lodging and dodging and, you know, sexing and whatever you doing, let it go. Yeah. Because your foundation is already destroyed anyway. So if you're going through some stuff like that, come clean. Come clean with yourself. Go to God, and then, you know, a woman up and say, look, eyeball to eyeball. Hopefully he don't smack you up. But listen, honey, because you do have some men that will go there. Yeah. Because they say for by means of a harlot, your life will be reduced to a crust of bread, and the adulteress will prey upon your life. Look it up in Proverbs chapter 6 or 7, one of them, but it's in there.
She said one of them.
It's in there. Like ragu, it's in there. It's in there. So you gotta be careful what you do. I play on the words too. That's that rapper in me, y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Be careful what you do, because they'll come back to haunt you.
The thug in her, y'all.
Yeah, that's the thug in me. I ain't never been a thug, but people used to call me a thug. They say I'm a thug, but no, I'm not a thug. Go ahead, babe. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, you know, because we gotta wrap it up. You know, it's actually off on the radio, you know, but oh, okay. But this is one of the things, like we was talking about building a house, so strong foundation, and with a relationship, it's a continuation. You keep going. It's not like you get to a point that you like, oh yeah, I built enough in the house and now it's time to quit. No.
No,
You're a
don't
carpenter.
quit.
This is an ongoing process. You know, it's as long as you're alive, as long as you're with that individual, there's always room to grow. There's always room for your relationship
Put
to
some
be
fertilizer on
groomed.
it.
There's always room for you to
Wow.
put more fertilizer.
got it.
There's always more room to put more concrete and everything and add additions to your house. But this is one thing I wanted to read. The grass is always greener when it's nurtured and watered. And what I mean by that is essential ingredients that have to go into a relationship. And like I said, it doesn't just end. You have to continue to pour in those ingredients. It's almost like when you're farming, you have to put the water, you have to put the soil, you have to put everything in so that the plant will continue to grow. You know, the flower will continue to grow.
Have a
You know,
green
you
thumb.
want a tree to grow. You don't want it to just stop at a certain point. You want it to go as far as it can go. And that's what we would like, or that's what we would like for our relationship to continue to do.
Right.
Continue to go forward. We continue to progress. We come closer and closer and let our love expand towards each other. And I'm hoping that somebody got something out of this.
Yeah, me too.
I really am. You know, I'm really hoping that somebody got something out of this. And I also said earlier, like in helping y'all, we are also helping ourselves. And that's why we're trying to be transparent. We're not just trying to sit here and act like we got everything all together. You know, we definitely not trying to do that.
Yeah, because I do respect my husband. I love him very, very much. I love my husband, and I want to be the best wife, you know, that I could be, and I want to be that fearfully and wonderfully made person. I want to be the person that God says that, you know, we can be. Because I've met some couples, they've been together 45, 65 years, and they put in the work. You know, it's not an 8 nowhere, but 24/8, you got to be in that thing. That's right, Leela. It's 24/7. You got to be all in. And you got to want to do the work. Because a lot of people don't want to do the work. You get tired. And you be like, I'm so tired of this Negro. I ain't doing nothing else. You know, I ain't cooking another piece of fish. Like I said, I can be mad about something or upset, but I'll never say I'm not gonna cook you nothing to eat or I'm not gonna clean the house.
I'd be hungry.
I never deny him of what's. I mean, look, I'm not gonna deny you because I'm upset about something. That's not fair. I'm gonna take this away from you, or I'm not gonna give you no sex, and I ain't giving you no money towards no bills. That's your problem. You know, I'm just saying, because that's how we get in that mindset where you think you punishing the other person, but you don't realize that you're destroying your own self in the process.
You're punishing yourself.
Yeah, you're punishing yourself.
Yeah, you know, I just love this. You know, this is only our second show, and you know, it's gonna get better as time.
Yeah.
You know, as time continues. You know. I don't know, at the end of the day, it's just all about being the best person that you can be. You know, show love to your partner, significant other, husband, wife. You know, let them know that they're wanted. Let them know that they're loved. Let them know that you're grateful that they're in your lives. You know, let them be who they are. Be open-minded with each other, you know. And one of the main things that I said earlier, and I will always say, communicate. Let each other know how you are feeling, how you're doing, what's going on in your, you know, your day, your life. You know, we need to know. You know, like I said, and I will always say this: men and women see things from different angles. You know, we receive information differently, and if you want to continue to build your relationship, you have to let those feelings and emotions come out and let them evolve. And
who is the core? The core is God. You know, God has to be in the center. If he's not in the center, the front, the back, he got to cover all 4 walls for me. That's me. Because I know I can think certain things, or I'm working on not having the take flight attitude when something just go wrong, because you know, God is not giving me the spirit of fear, but of love, power, and a sound mind. And he's also, you know, God said, be anxious for nothing. Because sometimes we be so anxious and we want it. And once you get it, you be like, man, this is what this is. So be anxious for nothing. Heal yourself. Do some self-love. Get somewhere and just be in love with God until you just can't take it no more. And but you always want to take it.
Stay in tune.
Stay in tune
with your partner.
Stay in tune. And we just love y'all so much, but we're going to get ready to get out of here because we know y'all got to go to work, or if you got businesses or whatever, children probably still up running around. Some of y'all probably saying, boy, if you don't get that bed.
Look, and we appreciate everybody who took
Yes,
time to
thank
listen
y'all
on the
so
radio.
much.
We appreciate everybody who took time to stay here with us on live, you know. And feel free to, you know, leave comments, you know.
Yes, like I said, I don't have no problem with y'all being in either of our inboxes asking questions
No, you don't have
because
to
I
come
want
by
y'all to
inbox.
know. But they
You can
do,
put it
and
on
I don't
my
have no
page,
problem with
obviously.
it. We know what's going on in the inboxes, so I don't want y'all to think, well, I can avoid sneak answer. It's no secrets, none of that. Well, back, give me your hands. Well, Father God, in the name of Jesus, we just thank you for this time of just fellowship and just sharing our hearts. Lord, we just ask that you would just mend and just seal every relationship with your covenant of love, your blood, the cross. Lord, we just thank you for your word. We just thank you for just allowing us this opportunity to share our hearts and be transparent to those, you know, that may be going through something or getting ready to get married. And Lord, we would just give them some insight on things that they may need to know or they need to have answers to. And God, we know that you have an answer for all things. And Lord, we just thank you for once again for this opportunity. And Lord, we ask that you will cover each and everyone's home, their minds, their hearts, their children, their job, their finances. And God, we just ask that you would just bless everyone 100-fold. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
And like we always say, my name is Devon Warren.
And my name is Ira Warren.
And together we are
As one.
Peace.
All right, babe, grab that for me. It was. Let's see what this is.